Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. Say, what did the Atlantic Ocean say to the Pacific Ocean? Nothing. It just waved. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Warplanes, Battles Over the Pacific, for the MetaQuest 3S from HomeNet Games. In Warplanes, Battles Over the Pacific from HomeNet Games, the player takes on the role of an American naval aviator as they are battling the forces of the Japanese Empire all over the Pacific Ocean. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this game essentially is a flight combat simulator. You can take on the role of a pilot. You can fly various aircraft, including the F-6F Hellcat, the Corsair, and many, many more. Now, what you're doing is, in each mission, you start out on an aircraft carrier. You're in a cockpit. Now, the cockpit, of course, is a replica of the kind of aircraft you'd be flying. You've got your throttle, which you'll need to push forward to engage speed and power to the engine. You've got your stick in front of you, which you will need to hold on to in order to move the plane on its various axes. You will have flaps on your right that you can go ahead and drop if you need to slow down while you are flying. You've also got your landing gear you're going to bring up. Now, critically, too, on your stick, you've got a couple of buttons. You've got one that allows you to toggle between machine guns and cannons, and then you've also got one that fires rockets. Now, as I say, every mission starts out on the aircraft carrier or at an airfield. Essentially, you pick up speed, you rotate out, you fly, and then you're transported essentially to the battle area, the combat arena, so to speak. And there are a lot of different missions that you're going to play here. In some of these missions, you simply need to take down enemy fighters, and it's just dogfighting. In some of the missions, you need to protect your ships or your ground installations from enemy bombers, and you're trying to take out the enemy bombers. In some of these missions, you are trying to take out the enemy land forces, or a convoy of trucks that are moving along, or enemy fuel installations, or their ships as they are there shooting flak up at you as you try to dive bomb them. But there are a lot of different missions that you play in this game and that you are attempting to achieve victory with. Now, once you complete a mission, if you do it with honors, you get all your primary and secondary targets and whatnot, you can win medals. When you get back to kind of your briefing area, you can go ahead, you can spend those medals on different planes or upgrades to your planes. You're getting a lot of experience that you can use there to purchase these things as well. So players are engaging in these missions. They're taking off from their aircraft carrier bases. They're fighting the enemy. They are protecting their own units, and they are attempting to achieve victory. If you can achieve your primary and secondary objectives, then you win. Warplanes. Battles over Pacific.
We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review.
Okay, so there's obviously more going on here to that. But I'm just going to speak today about this game I played. Now, there is a single player version of the game. There's also, you can play multiplayer. I haven't played it multiplayer yet. I'm waiting for some friends to get their MetaQuest system so that I can play with them. But I've played the single player a lot, and I got to tell you, it's really interesting. It's really fun to be in this combat aviation simulator. Now, I used to fly a little bit. I never got my license or anything, but I did. I was learning to fly for a while. I got maybe about 40 or 50 hours. I probably got about 10 hours of solo time in Cessnas. That was, quarter century ago when I was doing that. I'm not an expert by any means in aviation or what have you, but I do have some experience. And I was really excited to when I saw this game on MetaQuest in the store, because I thought, well, I've always loved kind of the carrier battles and these aircraft and how they functioned in the Pacific Ocean during that war. And so I thought, well, this will be a really fun and interesting game. And so as soon as it started, as soon as the mission started, and I was in that cockpit, because of the virtual reality and the way you are just immersed in that world, I was sucked in. I was just immediately sucked in, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is cool." There's a bit of claustrophobia because the way the plane is made feels kind of tight, and so that further kind of brings you in there. But it's so much fun to actually fly because you're getting you're getting dizzy, for lack of a better word. You're doing rolls and other sorts of maneuvers here, and you feel it. And it's obviously you're not really feeling those G forces, but your brain is thinking it's feeling those G forces, and that's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that quite a bit. In fact, it's fun at the end of the missions. You have to land back on the carrier, and as soon as you land back on the carrier and come to a stop, you still feel like you're moving forward, right? You still feel that motion because your brain has just been experiencing that for so long. So that's really fun and cool when that happens. But the game, the physics of the game feel very real, and it's fun. Like when you're getting into some of these turns, and you need to tighten up, and you got to hit the throttle and give you more power to close in on those enemies. Sometimes they're slowing down. You got to pull back, maybe even drop flaps to get behind them to try to shoot them. It's fun when you're coming in, you're trying to take down some of those, like I say, those enemy ships or convoys or other things on the ground you want to take out. With virtual reality, it is just so immersive, and it is so much fun. I've really enjoyed Warplanes Battles Over the Pacific. This is one that I just kind of bought on a lark from the store, the MetaQuest store, and I'm so glad I did because it just it immerses you in World War II. Of course, I'm a World War II historian, and this is not an aspect I've really studied, in depth, the carrier battles and stuff. Although I'm fascinated by them. And so but it's kind of fun to play in this world. It's kind of fun to visit World War II in this really immersive way. I'm looking forward to eventually playing the multiplayer game again. I want to get some friends I got some friends that tell me they're going to get a MetaQuest system. So when we can do that and play the game, I'm really looking forward to it because it's always more fun when you play with friends. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead on the Cody scale. I'm going to give Warplanes Battles Over the Pacific an 8. I think it is just an excellent VR game experience. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us here on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on Facebook, on Twitter. We love to hear back what you have to say, Board Game Geek. We'd also ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to please subscribe to this video and like it as well. Please give us a thumb on Board Game Geek. We'd also ask you, ladies and gentlemen, if you really do like what you see here on this YouTube channel, I'd ask you to check out my other YouTube channel, Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, military history, fun things like that. It'd mean the world to me if you would subscribe to that channel as well. And if you really do enjoy what you see on this channel, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. Remember, kids, if the enemy is in range, so are you. Oh, hang on, guys, hang on a second.
Yeah. We must kill the witch before the witch kills us.
Oh,